Okay, so when you hear the name Leonardo da Vinci, what's the first thing that pops in your head? Probably the Mona Lisa, right? But what if I told you his greatest legacy wasn't art at all? What if it was a collection of secrets, dangerous ideas, all locked away inside a set of mysterious notebooks? You see, the stuff Leonardo was writing down was so far beyond his own time, it honestly feels like these ideas have just been waiting for centuries, waiting for the rest of us to finally catch up. And they're just as powerful today as they were 500 years ago. So forget the idea of a simple diary for jotting down thoughts. No, this was something else entirely. Think of it more like a weapon. A coded, powerful arsenal of obsessive studies that challenged pretty much everything the world thought it knew. I mean, we're talking thousands of pages here, and it's this incredible, chaotic mix of genius. You've got these bizarre drawings right next to blueprints for machines that seem to completely defy reality. You have these amazingly detailed anatomy sketches sitting beside cryptic symbols. And the whole thing is tied together by a very, very clever code. To protect all these dangerous ideas, Leonardo used a trick that was, well, it was brilliantly simple. He just wrote everything in reverse. And with that, he created a cipher that was almost impossible for anyone to read unless they knew the secret. You might be wondering, okay, but why all the drama? Why go to all that trouble? Well, this code wasn't for show. This was about survival, plain and simple. In Leonardo's time, groundbreaking ideas were often seen as heresy, and being a heretic was, let's just say, incredibly dangerous. The technique is called mirror writing. It's genius in its simplicity, right? By just reversing his handwriting, Leonardo filled page after page with forbidden knowledge that, to anyone just glancing at it, looked like complete gibberish. The secret was literally hidden in plain sight. You know, we have this romantic, picture-perfect idea of the Renaissance, this golden age of art and beauty. But that's really only half the story. The reality was often a brutal time where the church had immense power. It basically defined what was truth. And if you stepped outside those lines, you were facing accusations of heresy, and that meant persecution. And this is exactly what Leonardo was risking. He was secretly dissecting human bodies to understand anatomy, an act that was considered deeply sacrilegious. He was questioning the fundamental laws of nature and writing down ideas that completely contradicted what the church was teaching. Any one of these things could have gotten him killed. So now, let's peel back the layers and get to the good stuff. What was actually in these coded pages? Because what he discovered, especially about the human body, was nothing short of science from the future. I mean, we're talking centuries before modern medicine, and Leonardo is drawing the human body with an accuracy that is just mind-blowing. He mapped out muscles and veins, he figured out how the heart's valves worked, and he even created one of the first known anatomical drawings of a fetus in the womb. The detail is just absolutely extraordinary. And just when you think it can't get any crazier than that, you turn the page and find the machines. He designed an aerial screw, basically the grandfather of the helicopter. He drew up plans for an armored fighting vehicle, an early tank. There are sketches for parachutes, diving suits, and get this, even a programmable robotic knight. It's like a list of things from a sci-fi movie. It's just wild. When you look through his designs, they feel so out of place for his era. It's less like he was imagining all this stuff, and more like he was somehow remembering it from the future. So we have this picture of a brilliant artist, a visionary inventor, a true genius. But that brings up a really tough and more complicated question. Was all of this incredible brainpower used for purely good things? Well, the notebooks tell a slightly different story. Because, yeah, there was a darker application for all this genius. Leonardo was also a highly sought-after military engineer. He knew that powerful and often pretty ruthless patrons would pay a lot of money for weapons of war. And the proof is right there in his own notes. He was basically a genius for hire. For the Duke of Milan, he designed a monstrously huge crossbow. For the notorious Cesare Borgia, he offered up his design for that armored vehicle. For the Republic of Venice, he drew up plans for multi-barreled guns and all kinds of siege weapons. His genius was an incredibly powerful tool, and it could absolutely be used for destruction. When you think about it, this mix of creation and pure destruction, it makes you realize his notebooks might just be the most dangerous collection of writings in history. And what happened to them after he died only adds to the mystery and to the pretty chilling possibilities of what we still don't know. He wrote thousands of pages, But here's the kicker. We don't have all of them. Not even close. After he died, they were scattered, lost, sold off, which means his most revolutionary or maybe his most dangerous ideas could still be out there somewhere, just waiting to be found.
Just stop and think about that for a second. Think about those war machines. What if they'd actually been built back then, with the full resources of a kingdom behind them? Maybe it's a blessing for all of us that his designs just stayed on paper. Maybe the world just wasn't ready.
Ultimately, Leonardo's notebook proves something that's both awe-inspiring and a little bit terrifying, that a single human mind can be too powerful for its own century. Society might look at that knowledge and call it heresy or madness, but Leonardo, he wrote it all down anyway, knowing that even if the world wasn't ready for it then, the future would be.